Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you my 4 best tips for tomorrow's racing. Before we get stuck into that, just got a couple of announcements to make. First of all, I've now launched the brand new series here on my YouTube channel that I promised a few days ago, where I'm going to be looking at my eye catchers of the week. They're horses that over the last 7 days or so that caught my eye, and I've decided to put them in my tracker. And in the video, I've outlined my case why I put them in my tracker. So if you want to check that video out, if you haven't done so already, click the link in the description box below. There'll be a link to the video and that'll take you over there. And if you're enjoying these videos as well, please remember to give us a thumbs up and a subscribe. Really appreciate all the support you're giving me. And leading on to the support, we've actually reached 2,000 subscribers now here on my YouTube channel. Now we posted it on Twitter today, so thanks for all your support over the years. I started this channel just over 3.5 years ago now, and it feels like it's gone quickly, but without you guys and creating this YouTube channel, I would never have started the dream to become a racing journalist. And now I am a racing journalist. Obviously I still want to go on to bigger and better things, got lots more ambition in the game still to achieve, but I'm on the way there now. And if it wasn't for this YouTube channel, I would have never got there in the first place. So thanks for all your support, and I really couldn't have done it without you guys. And before we get into the tips tomorrow, I know this is a bit of a long ramble. You know the format that I like to review how the tips performed today. And yeah, it was a disappointing day today, I'm not going to lie to you. We have come out with a loss. The only thing of note to write home about was Slow-Mo, who ran a credible race to get the each-way profit at Newcastle, so we got a little bit of money back there. The Nap, no complaints, just bumped into 2 nice sorts, but I think Prince Desabler will be winning races soon, once the handicapper probably just eases a few pounds, but she did run an encouraging race today, I thought. So she's not one to take off the list just yet. Our next best was very disappointing though. Probably needed the run, was well beat for Clive Cox at Bath. That was perfect outing. The less said about that, the better. And then with our long shot of the day, could you believe it? I was really disappointed actually with the ride given by Matt Griffiths. I was wanting him to track the pace, not make the pace, because today, if you looked at the running at Newton Abbot, especially in the race he was in, all the horses that were making the running faded away. I think maybe they went a little bit quicker than ideal. And in my opinion, at Newton Abbot, you don't want to be too far back, but it's a course that suits strong travelling types, and that's the way like, I thought he would be ridden, just off the pace and be a strong traveller, because that's how he's been seen to best effect in his career. So yeah, it was slightly disappointing with the ride there, but hey ho, that's the way it goes sometimes. But all in all, it's been, like I said, for the majority of September, a good month for us. Obviously we've done fantastic with the naps. We've had a few good winners over the last few days. Friday and Saturday were good days for us. So it's the way it goes sometimes. It's a game of up and downs, and hopefully we can be on the up tomorrow. And we're going to be starting tomorrow with the first of my 4 selections, and we're going to go for a bit of jumps racing at Sedgefield with the next best in the 225, a novice hurdle here. And I'm going to go with Fortunate Fred for Gavin Sheehan and Jamie Snowden in the colours of the Brooks family. Now, the current favourite for this race is a horse that I remember I didn't back him last season, but he was backed on quite a few occasions, and that's Young Lieutenant for Warren Grettrex. Now, he was quite a frustrating horse for Connections last season, and like I said, he was well fancied on the majority of his runs, but he never lived up to expectations. And this horse, Fortunate Fred, has actually got a little bit more substance to his form, especially recently, and has a more recent run than Young Lieutenant. So that does worry me, but for Young Lieutenant, if you do fancy him. But with Fortunate Fred, going back to him, he ran very well for a long way at Sedgefield last time out, when he was he was definitely in with a chance still. You couldn't say he wasn't gonna not win. He was definitely fighting, but he probably would have just come in second, but he was still finding, and he just lost to Marine 1 of Dr. Richard Newlands. Now, Marine 1 went on to win the listed handicap hurdle at the weekend at Market Raisin, so that form looks really good now, and he was probably running up to a rating of probably, I would say, at least 120, could have been 125 that day. If he kind of runs at that ability, if he runs at that level tomorrow, I should say, he should have enough ability to win this race. And I just think with Gavin Sheehan, James Snowden, they know exactly what they're doing this horse. They'll probably go out, try to make all, and if he gets an uncontested lead tomorrow, I think he's dangerous. and I'd rather be with him than Young Lieutenant, and I think Young Lieutenant will be weak in the market tomorrow, and I think at 6-4 Fortunate Fred is a good one in this race tomorrow, and I'd be disappointed actually if he doesn't take a step forward and win that race. So that's going to be the selection there. We then go to Bangor-On-Dee for the 325 with a horse called Commodore Barry for Kieran Gethins and Kim Bailey. Now this horse has got a nice attitude in his career so far. He had a good record over hurdles, and then last season he was seen over fences. He ran a few times. He won on his last start at Wetherby, and before that he boasted some fair form. He finished second on his chase debut at Exeter, which actually wasn't a bad little race for the grade. I was actually there that day. That was Howland Gold Cup Day. Feels like an age ago now. Shame that we haven't got race courses back, because I would like to have gone again to that meeting last year. I enjoyed my visit down to Exeter, my only time I've ever been there, but I hope to go there again in the future. But yeah, going back to Commodore Barry, he had some fair form last season, and he's rated off a mark of 133, and I thought that was quite a fair mark for him going chasing tomorrow. Now the concern might be we haven't seen him for a while. However, he does have a good record fresh. He won over hurdles fresh, and he finished second on his seasonal reappearance last year, so there's no reason why he can't be tuned up. Kim Bailey can often get him ready for a run, and I don't think this is actually a particularly strong race that doesn't really hold a lot of depth to it, even though it might seem competitive to some of you on paper. But he's currently 15-2 with bookmakers at the moment, and you can get 4 places with William Hill at that price, and I think that's a really good each way bet tomorrow. He's going to be my extra chip, and I would be really disappointed if he wasn't there or thereabouts. He's a horse that normally likes to be up with the pace, making the running, and if he can jump well, I think he's got a fantastic chance of going very close tomorrow. So that's going to be the tip there. The long shot of the day then comes in the 540 at Wolverhampton with a horse called Sansavero for PJ McDonald and James Tate. Now James Tate has been a little bit up and down of late. However, in the last week or so, I think his horses have just been running a little bit better. You might remember they gave us a winner when we put Shimmer and Dawn up in these colours at Chelmsford nearly a couple of weeks ago now. But Sansavero, I think you can forgive his last start where, to be fair, he was on the wrong side of the track and he needed to probably be making the running a little bit more. He was up there just behind the pace, but if you look at how the race developed, all the horses that were making all the running were the ones that made the frame, and it was difficult to come from off the pace. Now Leicester's been a bit of a weird track this season. You didn't really want to be towards the stand side rail. You want to be probably in the middle or the far side of the track. Don't ask me why, but that's the way a lot of the winners have been coming there this season, and he was on the wrong part of the track. But if you forgive that wrong run and put a line for it, because he was favourite for it, so there must have been something against him. He actually had some good form in the book. He was a winner at Chelmsford on the all-weather, and he ran a good race behind a horse of William Haggis's on his seasonal reappearance when finishing second at Haydock there. So he had some nice form in the book, and going back to the all-weather tomorrow I think will suit him. He's got a pedigree that's bred for the all-weather, plenty of winners in it, especially on the dam side as well, and I just think at 12-1 tomorrow you could do a lot worse than Sansavero, and I would be willing to forgive him that run. He was dropped £3 for it by the handicapper, so off a mark of 79 he could be dangerous tomorrow. He does have a little bit of a wide draw to overcome, but he likes to get on with things, he likes to be up there, and I just think tomorrow if he can get a good start and be up there, he's definitely going to be there or thereabouts come the end of the race, and at 12-1 each way I think that's a fair bet. So that's going to be the tip there. We then go My Nap, which runs in the 710 at Wolves, and this price was still currently available with Bet365. I'm just recording it before 7 o'clock, and that is Anna of Loraine for William Buick and Sir Michael Stout. You can currently back it with Bet365 at 11-4. Now this horse, I think for the first time in its career tomorrow since its debut, it's going to be finally running at the right trip, going down to 6 furlongs. Now I was looking at this horse earlier and I watched a replay at Kempton, especially on the last start, and despite pulling hard early and showing a lot of speed, she was travelling there on the bridle looking like she was going to go away and win. But if you actually look at the replay, she found nil in the closing stages. She was still like finding, she was still going, but she lacked the extra gear that she probably, you would have thought, had up her sleeve. But tomorrow she's going to be going back to 6 furlongs for the first time since her debut run at Wolverhampton in 2018. She missed the whole of 2019, but in 2020 she's been running over 7 furlongs and a mile, and I just don't think that suits her. She's by Dutch out of Oasis Dream mare, who both sires were renowned for being top class sprinters, and if you actually look at the pedigree, especially on the dam side, this horse is a half sister to another Cheveley Park horse that won a Group 3 last season called Dark Lady. So definitely this horse has got more of a sprinter's family, and I think going back down in trip tomorrow will be absolutely key. Will Buick as well, good solid jockey booking. You never know, he might still have a little bit more to find, but he has been given the Jockey Championship a good go this season, picking up loads of riding loads of winners, been doing well with Sir Michael Stout, whose team have been in form. And I just think this horse tomorrow, this is going to be the day. It's either a win or bust for me, but I just think this trip will bring out the best in her, and I'm really sweet on her chances tomorrow. So Anna of Loraine, not the most original selection in the world, currently back at 11-4. I think this is the night she's going to finally break her maiden tag. So they're the 4 tips for tomorrow's racing. Quickly just go through those. The next best is Fortunate Fred in the 2.25 at Sedgefield, 6-4 win only bet. In the 3.25 at Bangor-On-Dee we go with Commodore. Barry's my extra tip, 15-2 each way with William Hill with the 4 places there. In the 5.50 at Wolverhampton we go with Sansavero. That's 12-1 each way is my long shot, and the nap of the day is in the 7.10 at Wolves in the evening there with Anna of Loraine, 11-4 win only bet. So there are the 4 tips for tomorrow's racing. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also as well, if you're liking the videos, hit the thumbs up. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do, where my handle is at LuckyLoader15. And if you want to find out a little bit more about myself, check out my website, which is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.